All right, this video is going to be on potting up fig trees in the 5-gallon SIPS, which we did a video on showing you how to build them. This video will be showing you how to plant them up and be successful.
Potting mix, fill it up into your cup here. It's moistened already. Razor blade, careful. You don't have to go real high with this. Just go somewhere along the side, cut down carefully without cutting your finger. Don't cut all the way through the bottom of the cup, but pretty close. You can make 3 or 4 of these slits. Generally, this is just to allow water inside your wicker system here. Most people know how to make these. The only difference is what I do is that I just use 1.5 inch or 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe just to make it easier for my hose to go through there. This will go into the bottom. Now from here, we're just going to fill this up mostly with soil, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get our plant. We're going to orient the plant inside where we want it to sit, and we're going to pack it along the side there to make this a smooth transition, so that what we're going to do is we're going to cut along the side of the pot and the bottom so we can gently put the plant in there and lift out the top without disturbing the roots as little as possible. That is one of your biggest things you're going to get with transplant shock, where you're messing up the root systems here. So,
yeah, so you would agree that you shouldn't save 50 cents on a pot.
Right, don't worry about that.
Cut away the pots
we're gonna
always.
Use some mycorrhizae. Is that how you say it?
Mycorrhizae.
Mycos, yeah. I'm going to put this inside along the roots to get them stimulated, to get them growing too. You could use organics in these types of things. SIPs generally tend to just be fine with regular potting mix, and it's probably better to just use like a compost tea rather than filling it with a lot of organics. But you got a lot of flexibility to do whatever you want with these.
And so, question on this potting mix, we're not doing extra perlite and lots of drainage like a normal pot.
Not really. Generally, I only use those for like new cuttings, but if this is already rooted, it's going to be fine. These potting mixes are about 65% sphagnum already, so the rest is already compost, perlite.
Because we want it to suck water and hold water,
Right,
because it will take it as needed,
Right.
whereas we're overwatering, we want drainage so it doesn't bog out the plant, because we're just guesstimating how much water it needs. This will be...
It's going to help maintain that same hydration level.
So yeah, so guys, this is just regular potting mix
Filthy Rich
that he got at Star Nursery.
Yeah.
You can see there's minimal perlite in there. Looks like it's got some pine bark, and then that's what he's using. Next time I'm going to use some of my stuff that I like, Happy Frog, and we'll do a comparison.
Yeah, from what I read, people do use Quire, but if I'm saying that right, but they use a smaller percentage of it. They tend to do better if you do stick with the sphagnum, that it's easier for the wicking for the SIPs.
Yeah, so we'll have to do a comparison on using Coco Core compared to
and don't forget, it's not a big
peat
deal
moss.
using sphagnum, because this is only going to sit in here for a year, and then you're going to pot it up into something else. So don't worry about the Quire or the sphagnum moss breaking down, because that's not really as big of an issue at this point. Point A, first year. All right, let's do it.
Let's get after it. Let's pot up this guy. Looks like he randomly selected a Danny's Delight.
I just do this a little bit easier. You could wear gloves. Let's get this started. All right, so after we get this kind of semi-set, push down an area that we're going to kind of guesstimate this is going to go in.
Don't knock over the fig tree and kill it before you plant it.
That's right. A little bit more than we need.
So do you think that a tree could live in this longer than a year?
Oh, we got guys that will take this and they'll root prune them yearly. They'll take it out and they'll just use like, what is that, a Sawzall or something like that?
Uh-huh.
And they'll just trim like maybe a piece on the sides and then like a couple inches off the bottom, repot it up, and it's good to go again. So
But
like,
you would recommend up potting to a bigger after a year.
Right, when it's ready, up pot it if you want to get maximum growth. But if you're like on the sidelines, we're like, I don't know if I want to keep this or not. I want to be able to try it first. You can keep these in here long term also, till you see if it warrants the space and the money that you're going to up pot.
Okie dokie.
So.
So Jack here, we talked about this ahead of time. Me and him have the same potting style. Probably learned this over loss of trees, but we cut the bottom out of the tree pot, and then we put it in there, make a cut up the side, and then carefully remove the tree pot. That way you're not
disturb the roots as little as
Yeah,
possible.
you're barely disturbing anything.
So we got this preset, all right? So we're lightly packing it along the sides because we do it at this point because the tree is not in any risk right now. Then I'm gently going to rub it on the sides and forward and back so we have a nice little spot that we can slide this right back into.
Nice. Yeah,
Now
look
we'll
at
give
that.
it a nice,
Pre-made a nice holder. I never thought of that. That's a good idea.
we'll make a nice mycos treatment here right at the roots. Azos, mycorrhizae. Give it a shot of that. The root
Nice.
growth. You know, when you're done, you can add some organics in there as well. Let's take our little scissors right here. And let's start cutting carefully right through the outside of your pot here without trying to damage too far into any of your delicate roots.
Let's see how
Hold
this
that shut. Okay, you got some roots in there, we can tell we're in good shape. Now we're going to start cutting around the side. Carefully hold it together. You don't want this thing opening up or spilling. You know, take your time. You could use a razor blade, but it might be a little safer to just use scissors.
Yeah, so Jack does it a little differently than I do. I like to cut the bottom out first and then make the slit on the side. But same concept.
And we don't just do it on one side.
Oh yeah, look
We
at that.
we got to do it like catty
See the
corner.
roots coming out of there?
Right. So I'm
Perfect
holding it
timing.
together with my hand too.
Yeah.
We made one here, make one on the other side, so this comes easier to just take this right off. All right, now hold this together. And we're going to carefully just put it back in here. And at this point, we can begin to just gently slide this out. Very little movement on the original plant and the roots. So you're going to have a lot less transplant shock, we
There
hope.
we go.
And now we're just going to, you know, cover it back up. And then we're going to use a little bit of gently, you know, try to go along the sides just so it keeps the plant in place. And we are good to go here. Now we're just going to top it off with a little pine bark, some mulch.
It's pretty easy, guys. But you do have a professional SIP. We're gonna call him the LV SIP man here
Well,
soon.
I just think I've killed more things than most people will grow, so, you know.
Yep, that's the key.
Experience. And that's it. Now just label your plant. And the first year, which is very important, is on any of these new plants, what we want to do is don't put these in direct sun. Put them in a place where they're going to get shade at least for the first summer. So what I like to do is I'll get my new cuttings. They're rooted in the spring. After they're rooted, carefully pot them up like this. Light fertilizer first summer. Put them underneath the deck. And then what we'll do is we'll bring them out after like October. And generally at that point, now it's going to root in somewhat moderate sun for the fall, and then the next spring, and by the next summer, they're going to have like a nice push. They're going to grow really nicely, very healthy. They're not going to stress, and everything's going to be good.
Awesome,
I'm going
Jack.
to take a look at some other ones that I already have in the next video here, and you're going to see just how much growth that you get from this.
Yeah, so his recommendation is for Las Vegas, guys. If you live somewhere
Right.
else, you don't have to do that.
Exactly.
Las Vegas is its own beast. And
it can't hurt anywhere you go.
yeah, so this guy has been taking full sun, so I'm going to go ahead and do an experiment of my own and not listen to his advice. And we're going to keep it in full sun to see how it does. And then if it looks stressed, I'll move it into shade. Well, at least afternoon sun. But I probably should listen to him because he's the SIP man. So yeah, thanks for watching, subscribed, and check out
Figs.
more stuff. This is Just Figs. He'll be selling fig tree cuttings and trees in the future. So check him out on Facebook, Just Figs.
Check out our local growers page too, Las Vegas Fig Growers as well. We have a big community. Over 170 something growers here are now getting these rare fruits, particularly the fig trees. So this is something that's expanding in our area. At some point we'd like to have our own fig fests and get-togethers and things. So this is going to be really cool for our community.
Cool, thanks a lot. See you guys later.